Hey there, Gemini. Welcome to your reading for the week of June 9th. We are going to jump right in here. You have this porcupine spirit, it says time for a beginner mind. You also have this elephant spirit, it says learn from the past. So a lot of you could be kind of like, learning from the past, but you could also be ready for a new beginning with that porcupine spirit. I think you have learned a lot of lessons, Gemini. Jupiter will be leaving your sign, but, you can now get all the benefits of, Jupiter having been in your sign, like especially over the summer. And, a lot of that could be coming from like lessons that you've learned and things like that. So I would be paying attention to the lessons you've learned. You have the Queen of Pentacles, the Empress, and the Seven of Wands. The Queen of Swords. I don't know why I said Queen of Pentacles, but there you go. The Queen of Swords could just be you showing up in this reading. And, the funny thing is, Gemini, is that she's looking over to this Nine of Swords in your reading. And, she is, I always say she has her hand out, but, the sword up. It's like she's cautiously optimistic. She's willing to receive. But it's a pretty weird card to have your hand out to the Nine of Swords, right? And so, but I am getting a specific message here that it's like, if you have had a situation in your life that has been on repeat, if you have anything in your life that's been like Groundhog's Day, I think that this is saying that you are open to releasing it, or you now see why this thing is repeating. It's kind of like, the Queen of Swords could be giving you the answers to the Nine of Swords, or something that has been repeating for a long time. You could finally be understanding like why it's been repeating, or like what you need to do to change it or fix it. And like I said, I think that this is probably going to be a good thing for you here, Gemini, and it's going to lead to a lot of success. Like I said, I also think that this could be you. So whenever you show up as yourself in a reading, it puts you in a position of power and strength and allows you to get what you want from the reading. So, it could be a lot of success here for you. You have the Empress. The Empress, of course, is about abundance and stepping into an abundant time. This reading looks very abundant. You have this expansion card in your next row. You have the Eight of Pentacles, Ten of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles. Looks amazing. You have two aces at the end. So definitely could be a very abundant time for you, Gemini. And it makes sense because Jupiter will be moving into your second house for most of you. Yes, I understand that not all of you are a first house Gemini. So you're going to have to look at your own chart. But for the majority of you, it is your second house. And even if it isn't, doesn't matter. So I think that Jupiter moving into your second house is going to have you valuing yourself more. And the whole point of the Empress is to value yourself, right? She is the card of self-care. Jupiter will be moving into Cancer. Cancer loves self-care. Jupiter loves to be in Cancer. I think we are all going to have a good time during Jupiter and Cancer. Again, are things going to be perfect? Hell no, right? But things probably are going to be better. And that's what we need to focus on, is that, things can be better. Things don't have to be a struggle. You have the Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands, a card of conviction. Seven of Wands says when you know that things, that something is for you, that's when it's truly going to be for you. So with the Seven of Wands, we have to believe something like very deep down inside. We have to believe that we can be successful, or we have to believe that we can create success in something in our life. And if we do believe it, then we will create success. So I think for a lot of you, this is about your deep held beliefs, or just believing things on a very deep level in your life. And, that could lead to a lot of success. Excuse me. Seven of Wands can also be a card of putting up boundaries. Now, if you are attracting new love, which you could be very attractive at this time, Gemini, which makes sense. Again, Jupiter still is in your sign until like the middle of the month, and you could be attracting a new person here. So for those of you that want love, I would make sure that you are putting up appropriate boundaries, and if you do that, I think you will be fine. With the Queen of Swords, you have the Six of Cups. Six of Cups can represent a turnaround. Number one, it can represent love. So if you're looking for love, this could be a very solid love connection that's coming in for you. Six of Cups can be like a gift from the universe as well. And usually the gift we receive from the Six of Cups is a turnaround. So some of you could be experiencing that. But as far as love is concerned, the Six of Cups can be a soulmate. A lot of people read this card as a card of the past, but you have that first elephant spirit that says learn from the past. I also consider this to be a card of a soulmate coming in. And then, right down here, you have the Two of Cups and the Ten of Cups. So I definitely feel that this is saying that you have learned from a repeat cycle, something that has repeated in your life with that Nine of Swords. You have learned from it, and now you are going to apply what you learned with the Eight of Pentacles to this new situation. And so a lot of you could be, really attracting a very solid love connection here. With the Empress, you have the Death card. Death can, of course, be a transformation or a change. I think that we are having a major change. I'm number one, I think that something over the past couple weeks, like today is June 5th, and I think there have been like DNA upgrades or something's going on. I feel it over the past couple weeks. Also, the other thing that is really weird, call me crazy and let me know in the comments if you think I'm crazy, but one thing that I've noticed over the past like few days, again, today is the 5th, is like time feels like it's moving like extremely much slower to me, which is very weird. Like I'm about 6 minutes in to this reading, right? I feel like I've been doing this for 10 minutes at least. And it's just like something weird I've noticed. And so there's like some sort of change that's happening. And I think that if you're overly sensitive like me, you could be, picking up on those changes. With the Seven of Wands, you have the Hermit. So definitely needing to leave Hermit mode here. Gemini, we are in a very social time. Plus, having Jupiter in your sign kind of says that you have to shine, and especially when Jupiter leaves. Like I always say, to me, for whatever reason, I've always felt that Jupiter is more important. Not that it's not important, but I think it's more important when it leaves wherever it has been, right? Like once it leaves, that's when we get the benefits. That's when we can really put in the work and everything based off of where it was. And I think that's what you really have to pay attention to is like, what was in your first house, even if you're not a first house Gemini, it doesn't matter. It's going to affect you kind of in the same way. And so it's like your time to shine. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this Dolphin Spirit says, stop taking life so seriously and splash some joy in everyday life. If it was possible for everyone to get this card, everyone would get this card right now because I think the energy is too serious and I think we need to be more playful. You have the Sagittarius card. It says expansion on it. It says you are ready to expand and move forward to your next lucky break. Yes, definitely. I think a lot of you could be moving forward towards your next lucky break here and finding a lot of success. So I really like to see that. You have the Nine of Swords, the Two of Cups, and the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Swords is like a never-ending nightmare. I do not like this card. To me, this is the worst card in the tarot. Having said that, I feel good about it in your reading because of that Queen of Swords. I feel like that Queen of Swords is you understanding like why a cycle has repeated. When you understand that, you can avoid it. So I think a lot of you could be avoiding something that has been repeating for a while or a cycle that has repeated for a while. And you could be understanding like why it has repeated or what has caused it to repeat or whatever you want to call it. And, I think a lot of you are kind of like moving past it, which is great. And you're not going to repeat a cycle any longer. You have the Two of Cups. Two of Cups definitely could be a perfect match coming in for you. Now, you have the Knight of Pentacles right next to it and then the Ace of Cups next to that. I feel like this could be a very good connection, but I would take your time on this connection. You have that Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords says, again, apply the lessons you learned to this connection. You don't have to be a paranoid freak about it, but just, pay attention, right? And as long as you do that, you will be fine. But I would definitely kind of like pay attention to the things you've learned over the years about connections and apply them to this connection and things will go well. You have the Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups can be a card of fulfillment or wish fulfillment coming in for you. So I definitely feel that there could be some sort of like fulfillment coming in for you here with the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups also says we have to be in the energy of what we want to get it. So what the hell do I mean by that? We go up to the Knight of Pentacles to the Ace of Pentacles. There could be a wish or a desire that you have, Gemini, that is like coming true. It's like you're getting the opportunity. The Ace of Pentacles can just be a big opportunity that you are receiving. And it could be something that you've been wishing for, like in work, in business, in love. But with the Knight of Pentacles, it says you have to put in the work. So, like, once you get the opportunity, take it and plant those seeds, make it happen, and you will find success. With the Nine of Swords, you have the Six of Wands. I feel very good about this. Six of Wands is a victory or a success, but this right here would kind of say that you are conquering something that's been a big problem for you for a long time. So, the Nine of Swords is a never-ending nightmare. The Six of Wands, he's been through a nightmare. The story of the Six of Wands is that he's been to war, and now he's coming back from war and he's being celebrated. So a lot of you could be like overcoming a big problem or an issue that you've been having for years, and obviously that would be good. Can't make this up. With the Two of Cups, look at this. We have the Emperor and the Empress right next to each other with the Two of Cups. So you literally could be attracting a divine counterpart this week if you're hoping for love. This would, I like the Eight of Pentacles for sure in love connections, because the Eight of Pentacles, is good for just straightforward work. It literally just says you could be attracting a person who puts the work in, right? That's it. So, again, this is like Eight of Pentacles is straightforward, diligent work. The other thing that this would say is that if you're attracting a person in love, it could just be a very straightforward connection, like, X equals Y. If you do the right things, things will work, and that's what I would pay attention to. A lot of you also, by the way, right here, could be paying attention to work or taking control of work with that Emperor, and that could be creating more abundance as well. With the Nine of Cups, you have the Judgment card. Judgment is about like a wake-up call. These people are rising up out of these coffins. The coffin represents their old life. Outside the coffin represents their new life. And they are stepping into their new life, basically. They are needing to let go of their old life. Again, the coffin represents their old life, and they're still standing in it. And they have to get out of that energy to experience something new or different. And I would definitely encourage you to do that, Geminis. Like, let go of the past, so that you seem to be doing that with the Queen of Swords and the Nine of Swords as well. It seems to me like you are kind of letting go of the past, but, I would continue to do it so that you can move forward. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this Power card and this Openness card. I think you need to be open to your power, like what you are capable of doing. The Eight of Pentacles is straightforward, diligent work. Eight of Pentacles says, where do you get a result in life? Where do you get the best results for the work that you do? And that's really what I would be paying attention to here with this Eight of Pentacles energy. Eight of Pentacles is material success on the horizon. It literally says that you could be seeing more money coming in for the work that you're doing. And like I said earlier, this makes perfect sense with Jupiter going into your second house, that a lot of you could be earning more money or seeing better finances. And, that's definitely a possibility with the Eight of Pentacles. I also feel like there's like more straightforward success coming in for you with the Eight of Pentacles. So, I think this is just good for work in general. You have the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles is about needing to plant seeds in that field behind you. The Knight of Pentacles, he has to kind of make a move. He's the only knight in the tarot that isn't moving. But if he were to plant seeds in this field behind him, those seeds would grow. And I really feel it's time for you to kind of like, plant those seeds, make something grow in your life. And I think that will lead to a lot of success. But again, I think it's time to take action. I do feel pretty good about this because we have the Eight of Pentacles. Again, normally I don't really like the Knight of Pentacles because he's not moving. But we have that Eight of Pentacles, so, I kind of feel like you are making moves at this time, and, it just looks good to me. You have the Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups is like fortune after difficulty. So I think that a lot of you could be experiencing a turnaround. We go from the Six of Cups down to this Ten of Cups. And like I said, Ten of Cups is like fortune after difficulty, or good things coming after a difficult period of time. Ten of Cups can also be like blessings coming in from you, for you. So we see a lot of good blessing energy here. It can also represent just good love connection. If you want a family with a person, this could be you attracting a person that you have a family with. With the Eight of Pentacles, you have the Magician. The Magician can also obviously represent attraction. You could be attracting a big opportunity that you're definitely going to want to put the work into. Again, the Ace of Pentacles is a very good card of potential. So it kind of says the opportunities that we get with the Ace of Pentacles usually have great potential, but we have to put the work in to, see the full potential, which is what I would be doing there. Can't make this up. With the Knight of Pentacles, you have the Lovers. Yeah, clearly it's like, was it you, Gemini, that I said? No, actually, I think it was Capricorn or Cancer. But last week I did for a reading for like Capricorn or Cancer. It might have been you, I don't remember. And I said, you need to take a cold shower. That's what's going on here. It's like this could be you attracting a person where the two of you need to both like chill out and take a cold shower. Maybe you can't keep your hands off each other, which is great, right? Go for it. I'm here for it, Gemini. But the Knight of Pentacles kind of like is about slowing things down. So, might not really be a bad thing, but, definitely could be a very strong love connection with that lovers. With the Ten of Cups, you have the Justice card. What is working in your life? It is like the number one question that pops into my head right now for like for this month, June, right? I've been getting this question for everyone. Like, what is actually working? I know that sounds simple, but justice is very simple. Justice is cause and effect. We just have to look at the evidence. If we want love, we have to be honest with ourselves, and we have to say, am I doing things to attract love, or am I doing things to repel love? If you're speaking negatively about love, if your house is a mess, if you're, if you're staying inside, not going out, that is repelling love. If you're talking about all the old stories, all the people who hurt you and all that other stuff, you are repelling love. If you're talking about what you want and you're creating an environment around you of love, then you will attract love. Right? That's just one example. This goes for money, business, spirituality, everything. So I would really, and not criticizing you at all, Gemini. I'm far from perfect. There's a lot of work right here that needs to happen, right? So I am right there with you. I'm just saying the month of June, I think we definitely need to take a cold, hard look at ourselves, and we need to say, I want this, but I don't have it because I didn't put in the work. Just that simple, right? And I think people who do that will have a lot of progress. So I would do it. I am going to do it. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this decision card. It says, the first step to achieving your dreams is committing to making them a reality. You have this discovery card. It says, there's still an essential piece of the puzzle that you have yet to discover. A missing piece of information must fall into place before you will know your next steps. I think you are discovering the missing piece of the puzzle this week. Queen of Swords, Nine of Swords, with the Six of Wands. We basically said this at the beginning of the reading. And so I think that whatever this is could be leading to a lot of success for you, or, a lot of growth and abundance for you here, Gemini. And just looks really good. You have the Ace of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups, and the Ten of Swords showing up here. Excuse me, my allergies are really bad today, Gemini. I apologize. But the Ace of Pentacles can be a big opportunity that's coming in for you. I think this is what you are attracting here is the missing piece of the puzzle. It's like you're attracting that missing piece, or whatever's been missing in your life. And obviously that could be leading to a lot more success. The Ace of Pentacles can also be a seed that needs to be planted. Usually with the Ace of Pentacles, we have to nurture it into existence. The problem with the Ace of Pentacles is it's just a seed. It just represents potential. So we get out of this what we put into it. So we need to make sure that we're putting a lot of good energy into the Ace of Pentacles so we can get something good out of it. You have the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups can be your emotions overflowing, being very happy. So there could be a lot of happiness and joy coming in for you at this time with the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups can be like your emotions overflowing. So I think this could obviously be a love connection that's very hot and heavy. That's what it feels like to me, Gemini. I think this is like one of those things where it's like maybe you're going to have to like take a cold shower or something. It could be a Cancer or a Capricorn that's coming in for you. It could be any sign, general reading. But again, I can't remember if it was Cancer or Capricorn that I said this to last week. It just seemed like they were attracting someone that was like very hot and heavy, right? And so, but I don't know. I think it'll make you happy, so wouldn't even worry about it. You have the Ten of Swords. I think you are ending that Nine of Swords, plain and simple. Again, Ten of Swords in the good stuff is a blessing in disguise. So you could absolutely be attracting some sort of blessing in disguise into your life. But I kind of feel like this is like the final nail in the coffin here on this Nine of Swords. Like you're finally bringing some sort of negative cycle to an end. With the Ace of Pentacles, you have the Knight of Swords. Again, this could be a love opportunity that moves very quickly. If this is not love, I think even if it is, that there's clearly a lot of opportunity that's coming in for you here, Gemini. So I see like a lot of improvements with the opportunities that are coming in for you. With the Ace of Cups, you have the Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands can be a card of the Wounded Warrior. So again, that could be part of your story that you need to let go of if you want love, is like the wounded side of things, or the hurt, the pain. And if you let go of that, I think things will will get a lot better for you. With the Ten of Swords, oh, there we go. We have the Empress. In a lot of ways, it's like you are glowing up here. Like, I wouldn't call it a glow up. I think you are becoming the Empress. The Empress, she practices self-care. She practices nurturing herself. She practices valuing herself and like all those other good things. And it's like I said, it's like when you match the energy of what you want with the Nine of Cups, you get it. So I think you are matching energy. You have this vase card. It says secret admirer. Yeah, I think you're each other's secret admirer. So if you're attracting a person, clearly it's like this is like two people who secretly admire each other. So I don't know, go for it. You have this club card. It says someone will try to make you do something against your will. No one can make you do anything, so don't. I always tell people the problem with Neptune and Aries is going to be, I'm telling you right now, mark my words, for the next 14 years, one of the most annoying things that you will deal with is people who basically say, I need you to act this way or do this thing so that I can be okay. Basically projection, right? But it's like people who need to mind their own business, basically. So anyone who says to you anything like, I need you to do this so that I can be okay, meaning them, I would avoid those people at all cost. Really, the only people we should be surrounding ourselves with are people who take like 100% responsibility for their own life, right? You have this needle and thread card. It says a sincere wish will be granted. You have the Nine of Cups and a lot of other good cards, so definitely could be some sort of wish fulfillment. You have this older woman. It says dealings or relationships with an older woman. You have this key. It says successful outcome to your problems. Yeah, if you're dealing with any problems or issues, could be a successful outcome there. You have this moon. It says changes in your life. A lot of changes with Jupiter changing signs. It's almost impossible not to change with Jupiter changing signs. So yes, of course, there could be some big changes. But this looks really good here, Gemini. I love it. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your week.